our commission, and look out for our community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Real busy committee meeting. All right. Madam and Mr. Attorney, can we move into reasonable opportunity for the public to be heard?
Yes, you may.
All right. Well, reasonable opportunity is now open. I have no speakers registered to speak, so reasonable opportunity is also now closed. Can I have a pen? Thank you. Is it in order to set the agenda at this time?
Yes, it is.
All right. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to set the agenda.
Short move by Commissioner Orbis, seconded by Commissioner Cohen-Higgins. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Show the agenda set. All right. Any bifurcations to my colleagues?
3A.
All right. Show 3A bifurcated.
I move the balance of the agenda, Mr. Chair.
All right.
Second.
Show it. The balance moved by Commissioner Cohen-Higgins, seconded by Commissioner Orbis. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right. On 3A, I was actually going to bifurcate it as well, Commissioner, but I'll let you be recognized first. If you
Well, I just had questions because I think there's like a substantial monetary difference, but the points didn't kind of track with that, and I was wondering what was the deciding factor in actually moving on. Do we have people here from those companies?
Is Namada here?
Morning, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm looking, sorry, Chair. Let's see, where's every,
Rob.
I kind of want to know what's funny.
the director is on her way.
Okay. All right. So here's what I was, and I'll let Commissioner Gilbert kind of hear his thoughts, and I think, but I actually was going to pull this or bifurcate this item as well, colleagues, because I did see that so this is a debris removal contract, just to, I guess, monitor it, like the management company of our debris, only in the event of a disaster, right, of a hurricane. So this isn't like something that I understand we pay for, every year. It's only when activated. But the difference between the recommended bidder and the second place bidder is about 10 points. It's not a big difference. But the second place bidder is nearly $1 million less expensive in a time when obviously we're discussing budgetary cuts left and right. Are you replacing Namada this morning?
Yeah, I hear Namada's on her way, but I can speak a little bit to the contract. So this was a competitively bid solicitation. Our department, Olga Espinoza Anderson, through the chair, the Deputy Director of Administration for Department of Solid Waste Management. So our department is the heaviest user of this contract. As you said, this contract is only used in the aftermath of a disaster. So basically, in order for departments to get reimbursed from FEMA, you must have a monitoring contract to kind of keep the other contractors honest. They basically have folks that follow the different other vendors who actually go out and pick up the debris and make sure that they bring it to our staging areas and make sure they don't stop and pick up other debris along the way, and that they only pick up debris from the areas on which they are assigned.
Chairman, if we could just interrupt. I appreciate the answer. I know what they do, and I know the importance of it. I think what I was questioning, I think the chair was questioning, is there's such a small difference, and it's a big monetary difference, and so we want to focus on the correlation and that delta. So I think that's probably what we're looking at right now. So we understand it's very important. We understand who uses it. So all that stuff being established, you have one person who is like 10 points, more, and the other person who is $1 million less. And so we want to probably get into that. I think that's what. So you could drill down on that. That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, I think Namara would probably be able to answer that a little bit better than I do know that it was a competitive bid through a solicitation with a committee who scored the different vendors. I wasn't on that committee, so that particular question, I thought you all had questions about what the contract was for.
Thank you, Olga, and thank you for trying to fill in. I know that you were just trying to do
Okay, my pleasure.
while Namida comes in, so I appreciate that. But look, again, unless Namida shows up and reveals something out of this, unexpected, but I had my team do some research on this because that stood out for me, right? So, and I remember not long ago, colleagues, we were discussing on this dais, and I forgot what it was. I want to say it was like the seaweed, like the sargassum at the beach, right? And we were doing kind of like the same conversation. The difference there was, and this is what I had my team do research. The difference in that scenario was that the second place bidder, the lower bidder, didn't really have the qualifications for it yet. Of course they said they would figure it out, and they had the right partnerships and all, but they hadn't really done it before. So and I wanted to make sure that wasn't the same case. So I had my team look into it, and the second place bidder has many contracts of this magnitude throughout different states and throughout Florida as well. And in fact, found out in their research that 3 of their top executives actually come from the number 1 recommended company. So I don't know. I think they're both very qualified. They get the job done, and to save nearly $1 million, I would look to move forward with the second place bidder at this time.
Second.
You move.
I move that, yeah, and I think that you hit the points right in the head, Mr. Chairman, especially if no one's here to answer the question. 10 points relatively insignificant, $1 million relatively significant, and people with the same expertise as was doing it before. And sometimes I think, I know the provider that's recommended was people who actually we were using before, I believe. And so I know we fall in love. That's what happens. We fall in love here at the county, where if we're using you, we'll likely go back to using you. I've been a proponent of not doing that, so I'm very comfortable moving the item.
All right, show it. Moved by Commissioner Gilbert, seconded by Commissioner Orbis, recommending, I guess it's called Thompson Consulting Services. And Commissioner Cohen-Higgins, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a large contract. It's a 5-year contract with a cumulative value of $95 million. And I'm going to support your motion. But I have a lot of questions about this. And what is perplexing to me is that it's 9:15, it's Policy Council, and we don't have someone here to answer questions that are pretty basic questions on the item. So that is very concerning to me. And so I will support the number 2 moving forward to final hearing. But between now and then, I will have questions for the administration regarding this procurement and why this particular company was recommended as the number 1 bidder when there is a second-ranked company that was $1 million less expensive. That's not making much sense to me, but I'm sure there's a valid reason, but it's not being provided to us this morning. So just kind of message to everyone that pays attention to our hearings. When we have committee hearings and there's items on our agenda, we would greatly appreciate someone that can be here to answer our questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, I just wanted to add to what Commissioner Cohen-Higgins said. I also had some questions because I wanted to know how much weight was put on the cost. I think that should be one of the most important points that a vendor receives. So I had some questions, but I support saving money. I think in this moment that we're facing, we need to find every cost saving that we can. So thank you for bringing this up.
Of course, thank you. Well, with that, Commissioner Gonzalez.
And, maybe this question is for the chief. Is there really nobody here that can answer any questions as to the formula that was used to come to the, because I'm sure there has to be somebody.
Yeah, it's been.
Sorry, through the chair. I apologize profusely. Namda and her number 2 are on their way here. And so I'm not quite sure what the delay is. We actually spoke about it this morning, but I don't want to misspeak. I'm not that familiar with the detail. So
I'm going to call the vote. With that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
through the chair,
So the
Rita
item-
just
I
arrived.
just called it's too late. I just called the vote at this point. But I think that Namada and their team should definitely get with our offices and explain it. To the attorneys, any further business on the agenda itself?
No, the bifurcated item was the only one to be considered. The meeting minutes were approved with the setting of the agenda.
All right, show us adjourned. Thank you all.
Son transformasyon ki fet lor vivon bagay ki pat gen yon form epi li vin gen yon form.
FDA se yon baye ki egziste, yon fason pou reflete egzistans nou sou planet la.
Chak moun wè FDA nan fason pa yo, pou mwen son magi, son transformasyon, son fason pou depase moun materyel la.
Pou mwen, nan la vim, se kareman la vim, FDA.